Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 18, Melody versus Marsau, Round 5 was reality TV gold.
Chit chat with cutie. That's what they said. Yep.
Chit chat with QT was killing.
Chit chat with QT for all of this tea.
What's up, cuties? Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when I drop future videos, and also like this video. Now, I am going to be giving you guys a recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 18. Everything that I discuss are my own personal opinions for entertainment purposes only, and everything is alleged. Now, as you guys can tell from my intro, I loved this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Loved it. From Nell Fletcher calling things like it is to Melody Cherie showing that she's the star of this show for a reason. And I'm going to go ahead and give Marsau a little props as well. But let's go ahead and get into this recap, guys. So they picked up from last week. They are still at Tiffany's baby reveal, and Tisha showed up late as always. And as soon as Tisha walked in, Stormy gave her the stank look. And we know Stormy got that stank look down pat, okay? But Tisha said that she was a little shocked with Stormy looking at her that way, because she said that when they're on the phone, everything is all good. But now, basically, Stormy is acting brand new in front of the group. But they all sit down to eat, and you know, it was a little awkward. Even Tisha asks, why is everybody so quiet? Were you guys just sitting here? Was anybody talking? And finally, Kimmy let Tisha know that they were talking about the Expo. But Kimmy let Tisha know that they all really just wanted to get together to give a little feedback, and Tisha shut that shit down. She says she don't need no feedback. And look, you do. You really do. Anytime you ask some people for money and not everybody, that's a problem, and you need feedback. But Nell Fletcher was pissed because she stated that they have been in business for 30 years. I guess she was sort of under the impression that they, the Fletchers, would have been invited, and they were not. Tisha did admit that she did mention the Expo to Nell Fletcher, but she said that she put it on social media, and that should have been good enough. And I'm just going to say this. I did not like Tisha's nasty ass attitude towards Nell Fletcher. She was very disrespectful. And Tisha, just because your mama is ghetto, in her own words, ghetto, that don't mean that you should talk to someone that is your elder in the manner that you did Nell Fletcher. You should have shown her more respect, if you ask me. Tisha was talking to Nell Fletcher like she was talking to Stormy. And when I get to a point later, she didn't have that same energy for Stormy. But Tisha told Nell Fletcher that, look, this is dead, and I am not rehashing anything about the Expo. Nell told Tisha, look, you had a little different energy when we all were at dinner. And Tisha definitely did. Tisha, if I need to refresh your memory, that's when you sat down and you was trying to pry all up in their marriage business. And yeah, you didn't give off this same energy then that you're giving Nell Fletcher now. So I am believing what Nell told Mel, that Tisha got this problem because Nell is Mel's friend. But if you had that problem, you should have gave her that same energy at that dinner. You didn't. But she had the nerve to say Stormy was acting funny and different in front of the group. Yeah, so are you. And then Kimmy was basically like, hold up. I'm the one that brought up the Expo. And I said, thank you, Kimmy, because I'm confused why she's snapping at Nell Fletcher like this. And Tisha joked with Kimmy, didn't give her that energy, and said, well, stop being messy. It's like, look, you get one event under your belt and now you think you the shit, girl. Pipe down. But anyway, I think Tisha wanted no parts of this conversation because she knows deep down inside that her and Marsau pocketed some of that damn money. Now, that's just my opinion, and let me go ahead and throw allegedly right on in there. But they ended up bringing out baby Ace. They all said, oh, he's so cute, and he is a cute little baby. And Tiffany had to give him to his grandmother. They go right back into the conversation of talking about this Expo. And Tiffany said, well, what's up with the $100? And Nell was like, yeah, what happened with the $100? I want to know because I was not there. Tisha again wanted no parts, got up and left from the table. And I'm just wondering, what's the big deal? Is it because you know you about to get caught up in some shit? Because it's really not that deep. You know it went on amongst your cast members. And if they got questions, answer them like a boss. And don't get up and run. Stormy had to go ahead and chase after Tisha and make her come back over there and sit down at the table. And Tisha had the nerve to say in her confessional that these ladies are giving hater vibes because she threw her event. Girl, look, you all had to get directions and instructions on what to do when you sat down and had that comeback group meeting. And yeah, it wasn't just you and Marsau's event. It was the comeback groups. And the people that make up the comeback group got some questions. But after Stormy brought Tisha back to the table, they let her know that there's a little inconsistency when it comes to the story because Tisha and Marsau said that they paid for everything out of pocket. And Nell said, yeah, you did say that. So what? You lied? And she did. That's why she's so damn defensive. And Stormy let Tisha know that, it just seems like you all are being secretive about this money. And they want to know what the hell they got going on. Tisha, still acting stank, said, look, if you all got better ideas, if you all want to do it next time, then do it. Just rude. But it ends off with Stormy talking about Tisha's husband right to her face. You guys know we had a discussion about this. This is when she called him a woman or said he acts like he want to be a woman. She said he acts like a beach and everything else. And I was so glad that Nell Fletcher called that out in her confessional. Because look, it's one thing for you to joke about my husband, but what you're not going to do is say that he wants to be a woman or acts like a beach. And Nell Fletcher basically said it couldn't have been her. And I totally agree with her. Stand up and give that same energy, Tisha, to Stormy. See, you snapping off on Nell Fletcher, but Stormy is insulting your husband right in your face, and you quiet. And before I'm done with this scene, Mel also agreed with Stormy. And she mentioned how Marsau said a couple things about her, and she's a little confused because they're supposed to not be throwing jabs and all of that. And she is going to ask Marsau what the hell he say when she's in his face. And Tisha just basically said, look, I'm just going to stay out of it. Marsau can talk for himself. And I guess she understood Mel's point. But yeah, I didn't like Tisha's energy at all. From the time she walked in and sat down to the time this scene was over with. It just did not call for all of that negative, hostile energy that she was given. Next up, guys, is Kimmy and Maurice. They are at their building, Credit One, and they are talking to another Scott brother. Now, look, I'm over all of these family members. It's just too many of them, but whatever. In this episode, he had a short role. This is their brother Micah, and he is doing the remodeling of the location. But anyway, Kimmy and Maurice got together to talk about none other than Marsau Scott. Kimmy told Maurice everything that was going on. She said that he's popping off at Stormy, he's popping off at Mel, he's popping off at every damn body. And Kimmy also let Maurice know the issue about this $100 damn. Now, I get it, it's the principle, but it's like, please don't let us have to talk about this for the rest of this half of the season. We're talking about $100. Same thing with Stormy, $100. Can we get over it and get to something else? But she let Maurice know that Marsau is telling people that he and Tisha paid everything. And Maurice said, well, I gave him $100 cash. And Maurice said that Marsau is just an a-hole. And I guess he's going to have a talk with him. But that was basically it. That's the gist of things when it comes to Kimmy and Maurice's scene. I'm hoping that we can get into more of some deeper issues with Kimmy and Maurice, as long as it does not have to do with sex, okay? As long as it don't have anything to do with that. But we would love to hear more on, let's say, is Kimmy going to go back to work? Or is Kimmy just planning to work for the business or whatever? So they're not giving too much for me. I don't know. Maybe you guys feel differently. Oh, and Kimmy did share with Maurice how Marsau was making a joke about Mel's t-shirt business. And Maurice got a big chuckle out of it. And I bet you they're not laughing at Mel's money, okay, that she's making from multiple businesses. I bet you they're not laughing at Mel purchasing a network. I bet you they're not laughing at the real stuff that Mel got going on, instead of them trying to downplay and act like the only thing she got going on is a t-shirt business. So, you know, I expected that reaction from Maurice. He is a Scott, okay? But yeah, that was it with their little scene. Kimmy and Maurice, give us more, please. So next up is Nell and Mel. So Mel went to Nell Fletcher's daycare, but they spoke about the shadiness when it comes to Tisha trying to act like she didn't know that Nell Fletcher had a daycare business. Nell let it be known it's right around the corner from them. And you guys know that they know that Nell Fletcher has been in business all these years. That's an insult to this lady. For Marsau to even tell her he thought she was just Chris Fletcher's pretty wife, that shit may work with Tisha, but that don't work with successful business women. And then they also discuss how Chris Fletcher called Marsau the day before this expo. And they noticed that Marsau was being shady because he didn't even ask them to come on and come to the expo. Now, Chris Fletcher has his business as well. Are they intimidated by the Fletchers? Probably so. But Nell told Mel, she told her husband, don't even worry about it. If he didn't say anything, it is what it is. She said, obviously, they didn't want them there. And she was a little upset. I think she probably was a little hurt as well, because she said that they have supported Marsau and Tisha. And Mel said, y'all bought cases of black champagne in a bottle. You guys have patronized their business. And Nell said, we are always at black, but Tisha never knew that they were there. Mel looked shocked as hell, like, what? Now, she's supposed to be the business owner when it comes to these businesses, and she didn't know? And Nell Fletcher said, I don't know what she know when it comes to business. And I can let you know, Nell, not a damn thing, in my opinion. Then they got into the 85% ownership. And look, I like me some Nell Fletcher, baby. She said, if I am 85% owner, I'm going to know what the hell going on when it comes to business. Facts on top of facts. They then showed a flashback of when the Fletchers was at dinner with Marsau and Tisha, and Tisha asked them what percentage they owned in business. Nell and Chris said 50-50. Nell then asked Tisha, what is the percentage between you guys? And that's when Tisha said 85% that she owns. And baby, doing that flashback, again, I love me some Nell. She said, so you own 85% of a company that you were kicked out of? And Tisha looked crazy as hell. Like she didn't even know how that happened. Girl, we do, because it was all for business purposes, and Melody Cherie broke it down. So Mel told Nell about how when her and Martell were in business together, they had started getting into government contracts. And she explained how there are different certifications, and one of those certifications are women-owned businesses. That allows you to get more opportunities. Now, I'm sure you guys are aware of this. Not only is it contracts geared towards women, is contracts geared towards minorities, is contracts geared towards minority women, and so forth. So we have been discussing this. I know I have, because we know Marsau Scott is not even that type of man. I'm going to say I know that. I'm going to say that's my opinion, and I will say allegedly. Marsau is not the type of man that's going to give a woman, whether she's his wife or not, the majority percent in a business, unless they were trying to get them damn contracts. But Mel said the government found out the trifling things that people were doing to get those contracts. And they have found, and I've heard this in other circumstances, that the men were giving up their percentages to the wives so they can get those contracts, in order to say it is a woman's business. But when I tell you I chuckled at this part, because Mel brought up a great point. If Tisha owns 85%, that leaves 15%, and we do know that they have a partner. So she's saying Marsau only has 7.5%, and the other partner 7.5%. Sound like some shady shit going on to me. And just like we all been thinking, Mel said it, something ain't right. Are you trying to put somebody in the forefront just to be the face, or are they really running the business? Now, how many times have I said in video, guys, we did not see the transition of Letitia Scott going from a stay-at-home mom begging to work, begging Marsau if she can get out there and put her degrees to work. We never saw that. We never saw Tisha sitting up in Scout conducting business. And guess what? We still haven't seen it. And it is my belief that they did exactly what was discussed in this scene. Made that girl the majority owner to be greedy and swindle the damn government. Again, this is all alleged. And yeah, Mel let it be known there was nothing that went on in the business that her and Martell had together that she did not know about. She ran that business and knew about everything. That's how it's supposed to be. Especially if you own 85%. We all know about this lawsuit that's going on and coming up and all of that. And I've said it, and I'm going to say it again right now. I think Letitia Scott is the one that's going to suffer the most especially since Marsau has her as 85% owner of that business. Teresa Giudice, anybody? Real Housewives of New Jersey. Now, I'm not wishing this on Tisha, but girl, bye. You a damn fool for letting that man, your husband, do this to you. It's not a good look at all. What if the government starts investigating and they want to know Tisha's day-to-day operations of what she does in Scott and all of that? What if that happens? What did Kiki say? Poor, pitiful, sad soul. Then they talked about if Marsau and Tisha made a lot of money, and I agree with Mel in this instance. Nell Fletcher said she believes they made a lot of money. Melody said that she don't think they made much at all. And yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. It's better to act like you brought in big bucks. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments after this video. Do you think they made a lot of money and they pocketed? Or do you think they didn't make that much at all, but they want to put up the front like they did? And baby, then Melody Cherie brought up how they had that donation going on where they was trying to raise that $150,000. You guys know we was checking it every day. Now, Mel said that she thought they raised about 200, but I saw that it was stuck at 100 for F. And they said that Contessa, Dr. Contessa from Married to Medicine, they said that she's the one that donated that $100. So that was a scam if you ask me too. They said that they were doing this to build a home for someone in the community that was less fortunate. What happened to that? Marsau and Tisha? Was that a money grab? And then I had to crack up at Mel again. She was like, let me check. And she went to her phone and, I guess she was going to bring up Instagram. And she was like, oh, I can't even check. I got them blocked. And they got me blocked. Now, I thought that they all had at least unblocked each other. They had this big sit down before the season started. They seemed to be, got a little better relationship going on. They're able to tape and all of that with each other. But it looks like the both of them or all of them still got each other blocked. Nell Fletcher got a chuckle out of that because she said, how the hell are you and Tisha building a friendship? And Mel let her know, I blocked so many people, I am not about to go through all them people and unblock her. Nell Fletcher let her know, look, child, y'all are not friends. Y'all are frenemies. And then Mel switched it on her. She said, well, when it comes to Tisha, is Tisha somebody you would want to be friends with? And Nell Fletcher said, no, she haven't been too receptive of me, so I'm good. And Mel let Nell Fletcher know that her issue is not even really with Tisha. It is with Marsau. Nell Fletcher said, yeah, I think Marsau got a thing when it comes to women. She said that she feels like Marsau is doing the same thing when it comes to Mel and Tisha having a friendship. And she said that she feels like Marsau just throws a wrench in there to shut that down. But Mel told Nell that Marsau is afraid to really let Tisha get close to her again because he know that Tisha will pull from the strength of the woman that Mel is today and leave his lying, manipulative ass. Facts on top of facts, Melody Cherie. Mel is bringing it this season. I'm loving every bit of it, and she's really gonna bring it in this next scene. In this next scene, guys, it was Kiki and her husband. Kiki was explaining how she missed out on the event, and it was because she had been in the hospital and in pain and all of the above. She said that she did not want people to think that she was basically hiding out and didn't want to come around them. Kiki also said that she didn't like how people were looking at this and asking, did she relapse? And her husband was very supportive. He said that he knew that she had not relapsed. He said that he knows the signs now, so he knows if something is going on or not. And he knew this time that nothing was going on. And it seems like it's kind of scary what Kiki is going through. She said that She has no idea what it is that's causing her to be sick, how she went to the emergency room twice. She saw a couple specialists, and Kiki's husband let her know that he really wants her off the methadone. Kiki says she don't think it's the methadone. He said, you don't think, but you don't know. And he strongly believes that the methadone is playing a part in her getting sick. Kiki felt some type of way because she feels like that her husband wants her to take his word and I guess not what the doctors are telling her about methadone, and that it's okay. I just really like the fact that Kiki's husband was very concerned about her health. I also think that he's very concerned about the methadone. And just based off of some of what my cuties have educated us on, like in our members only lives and all of that, they really say that methadone is not good for you. But some people do go through the process of using methadone and come out successful at the end where they are completely off of it. But it was a great little scene. Like I said, there is nothing like a supportive husband, and Kiki's husband just wants her to be A-okay. So hopefully things will turn out for the best when it comes to Kiki's health, and hopefully she'll be able to show up to some of these events that the cast are throwing. Now let's go ahead and get into what I enjoyed the most when it comes to this episode, and that is Melody Cherie and Marsau Scott meeting up. And they showed Mel right away in her confessional, and she said that she made a conscious decision to come into this sit down with Marsau being positive, but the way he acts will determine if it will stay that way. And then they show flashback of Mel and Marsau getting into it. Again, I loved every bit of this scene, and I'll just say what I really got to say about it once I finish this recap. Now, Marsau walked in like he was at home with Tisha. He asked Mel, "You didn't get my coffee?" And she's like, well, what do you want? And then she said, well, they're going to come out and they will get your order. So they made small talk. They asked each other how business was going. And I liked the energy. And Marsau said that he liked the energy as well. It's just good to see them compared to a place where we knew they were. Then we know how that turned out until now. For me, this is a reality TV show, and if everybody is continuing to show up for work, this is what I want to see. But let's go ahead and get into it. But after Marsau told Mel that he likes the energy, she also let him know that she made a conscious decision to sit down with him and basically be positive, and she let him know this wasn't her energy at all. Then she mentioned the tea party and Miss Carol, and basically, what would Miss Carol do? So we all know that they went for etiquette lessons and all of that, and Mel, I'm assuming, pulled from that in order to sit down and have this discussion with Marsau. So Marsau lets her know, I like it because we are two intelligent individuals, and if we do say something, it's for a reason. And baby, Mel gave him what she gave Martell when her and Martell was sitting down at that table before. She said, well, let's talk about those reasons. So Mel let him know what Neil Fletcher told her about how Marsau was taking these jabs when it comes to her businesses. And notice I said businesses, not a t-shirt business. Marsau did what typical narcissists and gaslighters does. He tried to throw that blame right back to Neil Fletcher and claim that people embellish things. And I think that Neil Fletcher said exactly what he said. Then he tried to say, well, I didn't call you by your name, and that it was a part of a larger conversation. Man, go ahead on. So he let Mel know that the Fletcher said, well, I heard things didn't go well because you guys did not want to pay people. Then he tells Mel that no, what I said was, what am I paying you for? because I'm not going to pay you to talk about your t-shirt business. Straight up shade. Mel gave him a look like a Negro, please. And she was sitting there in a Mellow Meter t-shirt, and she let him know, look, I do have t-shirts. And she checked his ass and let him know that I think you and I both know that my business acumen goes further than just the t-shirt business. And she wanted to know why it was necessary for Marsau to throw any jabs at all. Marsau punked right on out of it and said, here's the thing. Anytime Marsau say, here's the thing, you know he gonna be trying to get up out of something or he's lying. And he said, oh, I just shared my opinion, and unfortunately, it affected you. Man, you knew exactly what you were saying when you said it to the Fletchers. Marsau trying to play in everybody's face. So Mel asked him, look, is your opinion that I have a t-shirt business? And Mar said, no, my opinion is I don't value that business. You need to, because guess what? It ain't got her in court for alleged, and I don't even know if I need to say alleged, $5.5 million lawsuit. You need to respect whatever business she got going on. And he talking about he don't have a high opinion on the products business. And Mel said, well, that don't make sense because you've been trying to get into the e-commerce business. This man is nuts, and what he said cracked Mel up. He said, I don't have a high opinion of the business that I'm in. And Mel got to twisting and turning all in her seat because she couldn't believe it. How could you not have a high opinion of a business that you're in? Mel said, if you don't have a high opinion of the business that you're in, why the hell are you in it? And Marsau said, to make money. So that means there's no passion behind what you're doing or anything. It's all just strictly on making money. That don't make sense. And Mel let his ass know, look, you trying me and I'm not here for it. The man just sat there and tried to gaslight, but when I tell you Mel handled that ass, she told him, quit playing with me, Marsau. And Marsau, you're not sitting across from Tisha, buddy. You can't run game on Melody Cherie. And Mel said in her confessional, Marsau's attempt to just limit her to e-commerce is ignorant, and it is. And she said that Marsau knows firsthand what she does when it comes to business. We know he do, because we know allegedly, I'll go ahead and throw it up in there, that you and Martell are the one that put his ass in business. And then Mel said for him to intentionally try to downplay what she does. And Marsau said, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. And I guess at that time, one of Mel's lashes may have been lifting up. And Marsau said, don't cry, Mel. Don't cry. And then the fool said, I apologize, Mel. Please, just don't cry. And baby, that's when this iconic read started. And Mel let him know, nobody's crying over you, Marsau. Nobody. Even Tisha won't be crying when she leave your ass. That shit was so funny to me. When Mel tilted that head to the side and all of that, she meant business. Marsau tried to do what they do. Oh, you want Tisha to leave me so I could be a single parent? Why would you want me to be a single parent, Mel? And Mel let him know, look, I didn't say she was going to leave you. I didn't say I want her to leave you. I just got a feeling that she is. She let Marsau know that he's afraid of her and Tisha being in a good space because he know that Tisha is going to pull from the strength of this strong woman and that she will then leave his lying, manipulative ass. Baby, I loved every bit of that scene. Now, say what you want about Marsau. Marsau, at times, is really good TV, and Melody Cherie is really good TV as well. Now, even one of the greats, Tammy Roman, left that under Carlos's post today on Instagram, and I couldn't agree more. I am loving this sassy male, this snap back on they ass male. I'm loving all of it. And I do love the exchange between Mel and Marsau. The reason why I love it so much is because Marsau can't get over that shit that he get over with Tisha. This scene was one of the best scenes of Love and Marriage Huntsville for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like I said, I can't say it enough. I loved it. There is nothing better than a strong woman checking a narcissist, checking a gaslighter, checking someone that's trying to play in their face and trying to talk to them like they're dumb. No, sir, Negro, no, sir. So that's how this scene ended, guys. It is a to be continued. So there will be more of Mel and Marsau's scene next week. And I cannot wait. Kudos to the both of them because Marsau is not used to this here treatment. And this is what we need to see. Shut his ass down, Mel. Shut him down. But that was this episode in a nutshell, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this thorough recap. I will be scheduling a Power Hour live where you guys can really let me know your thoughts. But for now, drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. Did you enjoy the episode? This is good reality TV. I have been so over what we've seen in previous seasons because it got really, really dark and heavy. And I'm glad that whatever this cast has done for them all to be able to film together, I'm glad that they've done just that. I'm also happy that we did not see Mr. Martell Holt this episode, and we know we did not see him last episode. But in the previews, Mr. Holt will be on this coming Saturday's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And man, I got a whole nother video coming for Martell before then. What a fall from grace. Just a mess. The comparison. That's all I'm going to say right now. But I'll be dropping a video about Mr. Man tomorrow. But you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this recap. Before you go, please make sure to like this video, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. Chat with you guys soon. Bye.